Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Lumo. You know, I really gotta thank, what's his name from Super Best Friends? Liam. That's him, Liam. He actually sent me a copy of this, because he had a few keys lying around and the devs hadn't replied to me yet, so I'll thank him for allowing me to get this video out as soon as humanly possible. I can't give you an exact time for how long I've been playing this, but it's about an hour and a half-ish. Like, I've been watching the clock, and it's about that, more or less. So, we're just gonna go have a quick look around at everything else. You got your credits, which are exactly what you expect. I really hope that my capture kit doesn't bugger off here, but anyway. Only one guy did the testing, really. But yeah, this game's a little strange. It's got Rising Star Games, Just Add Water, and himself attached to it, so I don't know who's doing what, but whatever. There is a leaderboard, but it's only for the game's old school mode, and I'll get into what that is in a second. If we go into settings, we can actually go have a look at the controls. However, there is also something that's missing here that only shows up in-game. This game is an isometric game, so there are 3 different ways you can do it. You can have the D-pad move you exactly like it would in any other game, or you can have it move you in an angle, like in most isometric games. And you can pick all 3. You can pick up goes left, up goes right, or up goes up. And I've got it on up goes up, because I'm not completely insane. But you do have controls here to shift the view to the left and the right a bit, just in case you have a little bit of trouble seeing, but generally the default angle will do just fine. And there's a wand light feature, but I have no idea what that does, because I haven't been there yet. So yeah, as I said, I've only been playing for an hour and a half, but according to the game, I've been through 7 of the game's 14 maps at this point. So, am I a full, like, halfway through at this point? An hour and a half? Really? Me, of all people? There's a leaderboard entry that I can't show you right now because it refuses to connect to my network for some reason. But the leaderboard entry has someone who's played on the old school mode, and that it determines how long that you took to finish the game in that mode. It takes an hour. It took him an hour. Like, look at this. See? An hour and 8 minutes. And he only got 2 ducks and 4 tapes. We'll get into what that is in a sec. So when you go to play game, I love this logo, by the way. Especially the hat. The hat is just wonderful. But if we go to new game, we'll be able to see that there are 2 different types of modes. There's the adventure mode, which has the map, your save games, and infinite lives. And then you've got old school. No map, no save game, and you've got a timer. So, yeah, that's a bit of a nightmare. So, let's just head back and continue my game, shall we? Obviously, I'm playing on the classic mode because, well, that's just what happens. So, yeah, I'm not even going to try playing the old school mode. Just no. But anyway, here we are. So this is Lumo. This is an isometric game, but considering I don't have the isometric controls on, I can just move around relatively normally. These ducks are really hard to get on purpose. But yeah, I just got the duck. So if I leave the room successfully, I get to keep the duck. And I've gotten half of the ducks that are in the game in an hour and a half, and I already missed some of them. Like, I've missed 3 or 4. So, you know, I've seen like 18 or 19 ducks or something like that. So, the game is an isometric platformer, but it's not actually that hard of an isometric platformer. There's very little challenge to it, I found, actually. Even the puzzles aren't that hard. I mean, you can't really do that much with just the movement buttons and jump, but, I mean, then again, that is kind of what you expect from it, considering it's it's meant to be a callback to isometric games of the kind. But yeah, it's still surprisingly simple, more or less. But anyway, we're wandering around in a new area, so the idea is we're just going to go down doors until we find what we're looking for, and that's what we're going to... Ow, that's what we're looking for. So this... Shit. So this is a map, and this... Fucking hell. I've started swearing already. You know it's going to be a good one, don't you? Yeah, so this is a map, and this map... If I can... Yes! This map lets us see the area that we're in. So this is area 7. And the area that the map is in right now is the area that's been marked on the map with this weird white symbol down here. And the idea is we've got to find our way through this area. And this map is just entirely too simple. And also, it's really low res. This is like 160 by 120 or something. It's stupid low res. But yeah... It's one of those sorts of games where you gotta try and find your way through, but it's honestly not that difficult. It's actually not difficult at all, honestly. It's a bit strange, if anything. But yeah, I got a duck. So, it's a little strange, because the game doesn't have that much challenge. Like, I can literally just skip across this platform. And, like, obviously, if I want to get that duck, it'd be a little bit more challenging, or even get in that door, but... this doesn't move yet. I'm going to assume I have to come back here later. So, it's a little bit strange. Strangely unchallenging, for the most part. Like, I had one issue with it. And that was... And that was the fact that I didn't wait on an elevator long enough to see that there was a second door above me. But yeah, that was like the only issue I've had in terms of solving the puzzles in this game. So it was relatively simple. One might argue that this is a good thing. And I wouldn't really argue with you too much if you said that. Because this game is actually pretty nice for just like sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying yourself. In terms of just like having light puzzling. And sometimes there's secrets to find. I'm having terrible luck finding them at the moment. There are secrets hidden around the level. Like, if I hit the start button here, you can see that there's a cassette logo in the bottom left there, and that cassette logo is a bunch of hidden secrets. The only way I found this is by hopping over in-game walls. So, yeah, there's a bunch of those to find. I believe there's, like, 50? Because it would make sense. It's a reference to cassette 50, which is a very specific reference I wouldn't expect most people to get. But if you get it, high five to you. Either that or go watch Larry Bundy Jr. or Guru Larry, as he likes to call himself. Because he's got a video on cassette 50. This game is full of, like, little retro references and secrets like that. But even in this main dungeon here, they don't show up very often. And it's a little bit strange. This dungeon has mainly been exactly the same thing for this... Well, almost exactly the same thing for this entire hour and a half. It doesn't really do much... I guess I have to hop on this switch here. It doesn't really do much in the way of, variety. I mean, there is, like, this looks interesting. Like, this is actually the first new thing the game's brought up in a while. Notably, the game tends to stick you in these, like, rock area things for a while. And it's a little bit disappointing, honestly, because there's this one segment that comes out of nowhere where you have to go up this modern time elevator with elevator music included and fight a robot. Or get past a robot to get a screwdriver. It was the most unique thing the game had done up to that point, and it was interesting, and the game just does not do that anywhere near enough. The game's got a lot of good ideas, it just feels the need to spread them out a lot. And there's a bunch of stuff I haven't even found yet, like apparently I've got this wand light mechanic, I don't know what it is. Apparently you can find Z-Zap64 logos around the place, which is even weirder. It's like, that's a reference I never expected them to make. What's this? What's a coin? Like, what's this coin? I don't know what this is yet. I mean, then again, this is a first impressions series, so generally you don't tend to see this stuff. Why am I in a men's bathroom? What's the deal here? Well, that was a completely random joke. All right. Yeah, this is very unusual. The game usually isn't this creative with its setting. What happens if I stand under here? Not much. Yeah, this is very odd. Game's not usually this creative. Why is it suddenly getting creative all of a sudden? But yeah, it took a really long time for it to figure out how to do something interesting. Well, I've got a coin, so I wonder what I'm supposed to do with that. Let's go see if I can find something to do with it. A lot of these rooms are empty. It's weird. Like, it'd be nice if you could put something interesting in here. Like, there's a bunch of things lying around, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're really subtle references to games that I don't get. But still, it's just a little strange, honestly. Where the hell am I supposed to use this coin? And where's the wheel for this minecart? I don't really know, but yeah. Fair amount of the games like this, you're just looking around these areas. Alright, I need to find a wheel. Where am I going to find a wheel? I can step on this again. Why can I step on this again? You usually can't step on these switches more than once. Oh yeah, it's because it just opens that. Right, okay. Yeah, I need a key, and to get the key I need to go back to the other end, but I couldn't do anything at the other... Well, I have a coin. Maybe that's where the coin's supposed to go. Alright. I might as well talk about the rest of the game. It looks alright. I mean, I've seen videos of the PC version, because I was actually looking forward to this game. I heard about it and I'm like, an isometric throwback to games of the 80s, count me in. But yeah, it's taken a bit of a knockback from its... It's taken... Oh, right, I forgot. Right, okay, I'm an idiot. So these do this. Right, so I gotta get this to about the halfway point and then jump off. Okay. So yeah, the game's taken a bit of a graphical blowback from its... I'm just gonna tilt the camera a bit, maybe see what I'm doing a little better. The platforming is a little bit difficult, but it is an isometric game. It's like, what do you expect? That's generally just how this genre works. If you don't like that sort of platforming, this game is probably an avoid. Yeah, there's a platform behind there. I can see it now. Alright, and I gotta do the other one, because of course I do. Because the whole thing reset when I walked out of the room. Rooms tend to do that. I don't know why. But yeah, the game's taken a bit of a graphical step backwards. It still looks really nice, especially the main character, the way they move around in their animations. Although the animations themselves don't really come up that often, it still looks just really nice. And oh shit. Right, well, I've got a different plan now, so let's do this. So I'll... Shit! I've done that a few times, I'm sorry. Just, it is kind of hard to avoid walking outdoors when all you've got is this thin-ass platform to work with. Alright, yeah, back to what I was saying. The game's taken a bit of a graphical hit, but it's not that big of a deal. The game's soundtrack is actually really nice. Just the thing about it is that... Well, the game's got a few technical issues, and one of the technical issues that's worth noting is the soundtrack restarts every time you walk through a door. Like, it'll stop and it'll start again every time you walk through a door. The game's also got a chance of crashing whenever you walk through a door. I've had the game crash on me 3 times. I'm just waiting for this to move me back because I'm not going to do the jump. I'm just going to wait here and I'm just going to let it happen. But yeah, it's crashed on me 3 times when I've walked through a door. Thankfully, it saves every time you walk through a door. So... it didn't, like, I didn't lose very much progress or anything. But then again, if this did happen on the old school mode, that's it. Run's done. Game over. And that's kind of frustrating. There are also points where if you die and respawn too many times in a short period of time, because, you know, like a hard jump for a rubber duck or something, it will still get really difficult really fast. Because, no, brain work with me here. It will get really annoying really fast because the sound will start to lag. You won't be able to move for a few seconds if it gets too backed up. It's surprisingly a big problem. The rest of the port works fine. I mean, the controls are a little bit annoying. Sometimes your jumps will miss. Like, you'll try to jump, mole not dull. Why are all these things coming up here? Most of these rooms have been freaking empty. Like, not even an interesting little cute reference or something. Like, most of these are probably references to games I don't get, because this is meant to be a 80s compilation. Well, not so much a compilation, but a reference to something. It's just, yeah. Like, do you hear the soundtrack stop every time I walk through a door? It's really odd. Like, I don't understand why that happens. It's really weird. How am I supposed to get up here? Is there, like, a platform or something I'm missing? Oh, wait, no, that's a door. Okay, that little thing up there is sticking out the edge. That's a door. So, assumedly, I have to get up there somehow. But yeah, you can hear the music stop every time I walk through a door. It's kind of frustrating, honestly. And I just fell through something, but whatever. I will deal. Because that is what we do on this channel. We deal with shit, because sometimes it's me being bad, sometimes it's the game being bad, but everybody's going to assume it's me being bad. Seriously, this platform actually works a lot better than I expected to, but at the same time, it's still kind of a pain. Alright, so where do I go from here? I have to jump over to here, and then I have to jump on this tower of crates, and I have to jump here, then we come out over the top of this, and I have to walk over here and into the door, and yeah, this makes sense. It's not that bad of a game, it's just really simple, and I'm honestly kind of disappointed. Like, I'd expect there to be secrets hidden... Fudgesicles! I'd expect there to be, like, secrets and stuff hidden all over the place, but most of the secrets I've managed to find are mainly just going over the top of the wall, and considering there's not that many, like, things that you can actually play around with in terms of controls or anything in order to find secrets, it's a little bit disappointing, because it's just, the game doesn't really seem to have that much going for it at the moment. And you know what I'm like with my first impressions. If I'm not liking a game about an hour to 2 hours in, I'll probably just drop it, but I feel like that the game's not putting its best foot forward when it comes to both the puzzle design, the secret design, and the world design. Sorry, don't mind me, just having a fit. Stupid jumping. Jesus Christ almighty. Strangely enough, you can't use the right stick to tilt the camera. I thought that would have been a thing, but yeah. It's a shame. It's got all the ingredients of being a good thing, and it's just, like, an average thing, more or less, and the port doesn't really help it. I mean, the game's really expensive, too. It's like 20 bucks, which seems to be way too much for what I've played of this so far. I mean, I would like to... Right, you're supposed to go all the way to the end and jump, because, you know, depth perception, people! There's probably a hidden wall there somewhere, but whatever. We won't bother looking into that. It's a neat little thing. It's relaxing. It's not that hard. It's got cool music, even though it'd be even cooler if it, like, stopped resetting at the start of every room. But, yeah, it's... Yeah, what the hell? Oh, would you look at that? It actually did something original for once. Who would have thought? Is this the point where the game actually starts getting good? Because I've seriously just been spending the past hour or so just like, oh god. Please tell me that was a checkpoint I hit back there. It was! Can't help but wonder what these coins are about. This is gonna take me ages to get through, isn't it? Shit. I don't know, maybe the game is actually gonna get good here, who knows? Yeah, the late jumping is kind of getting on my nerves here now, because just the game jumps about a quarter of a second later than you expect it to, and it really gets in the way of precision jumping, I gotta tell ya. Thankfully, the checkpoints are really freaking frequent. Like, that whole segment back there, just, like, jumping across the roof of that whole building thing, that was, like, the longest I've ever gone without seeing a checkpoint in one of these games. Like, there are parts of the game where there are deadly hazards, but there's just, yeah. There are apparently other segments like this as well, because I have gone and had a look through the trade for this, and there are other, like, arcadey sections like this, like that boulder... Oh, well, no, there was a segment I'd seen just before this that did something like that, but it was very simple, and... Yeah, maybe the old school mode makes things harder. Like, that would be kind of neat. Maybe I should try the old school mode, see if that makes things harder, but... The adventure mode just seems like way too simple. But then again, with limited lives, annoying platform controls that jump like a quarter of a second later than you expect them to, and the technical issues that might cause the game to crash, it's kind of hard to recommend Lumo, at least in its current state, and especially at its current price tag of 20 bucks. I mean, as much as I didn't like God Eater Resurrection, God, I mean, compare that to this. Compare that to... I mean, it's not even a fair comparison, because you haven't been through, like, the hour or so of basic puzzle platforming that I've been through at this point. Very, very odd. Little picture there. But yeah, it's gonna just pop me back into another puzzle room, and then just, you know, off we go again into another puzzle room, and we hit select, and... Well, are we in puzzle room 8? Or are we still in 7? I'm willing to bet we're still in 7, but... Yeah, I've been halfway through the game, and outside of a couple of, like, tiny, neat little segments here and there, like that cart mine section, it's mainly been just, like, acceptable, if not even remotely engaging puzzle platforming. And is it worth 20 bucks for that, even with a nice little theme like it's got going here? Oh, look, it actually looks different. Who would have thought? Is this worth 20 bucks, though? Personally, I do not believe so. Probably better you wait for it to go on sale or something. There's something back here? There is. Hey, look, an actual puzzle. Who would have thought? Or maybe it's going to be very simple. I'll solve this and I'll call the video to a close, because, you know, I don't want to spoil too much. Considering this game can be beat in an hour in its speedrun mode, I would, yeah, it's... yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on it, because God only knows. So, oh, it's a staircase, right. The Grim Reaper wants a second gem. Okay, well, I'll just end the video here. Like, see, this is interesting. This is where my format tends to fall down a bit. Like, if I go through, like, a boring-ass segment for, like, an hour and a half, and then the game's like... And then the game's like, oh, you're gonna start recording now, are you? Well, let me get all my interesting bits out. And by the way, this game's got no backtracking. So, you won't be doing any of that. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? And let me guess, this opens the door on the left. Really? 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 Alright, if you insist. Well, I will actually end the video off here. So, if you're gonna believe what I said earlier about the game basically being a couple of hours of puzzle platforming with some interesting stuff laid on top, then yeah, don't buy this game. If you go by what the game has decided to show you at the most random of times, which is a interesting series of puzzle layouts and like little side activities and stuff like that, well, whatever, but the game still does have some technical issues, like crashing in between rooms and the music restarting and lagging out and sounds lagging out. And the game also being relatively simple in the sense that they've got they're supposed to have lots of hidden secrets and they just don't. I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing. I mean, with all the stuff that the game feels the need to throw at me right now, maybe there is something like more interesting towards the end, but the first 2 hours of this game haven't exactly been the best foot forward. If he had interesting ideas and if he'd put them close to the start, maybe I'd be able to give a better look at them, and maybe I'll have to continue playing this game and come back if I do get around to finishing it with more details on it later. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, depending on the amount of time I have. But yeah, again, I'll just end the video off here. So this has been Blue Maxima. If you want my honest recommendation for Lumo, wait for a sale. Wait for it to go down to like 10 bucks or something, or maybe even less, because the game's technical problems and its general lack of variety outside of random sections out of nowhere at some points, it just kind of works against it. So yeah, I'll see you all next time.